director, philosopher from Netflix Media East Africa. And today, I'm in Tanzania, Dar es Salaam. Today, I'll be covering a number of cities and towns here in Tanzania. And in this episode, I will not cover in details, but during the next episode, I will do that. And today, I'll be starting with Dar es Salaam, Mwanza, Mtwara, Shinyanga, Morogoro, Isimila Stone Age in Iringa, and Kigoma, mwisho wa reli. Dar es Salaam has a population of over 6.7 million people, and here they specifically speak Swahili. So if you're planning to visit any town or city here in Tanzania, at least try to learn some few Swahili words. One thing I like about Dar es Salaam is that there's plantation of trees along the road and the city streets, keeping in mind that during the summer season, sometimes the temperatures of Dar es Salaam goes up to 34 degrees Celsius, whereby planting trees contributes in keeping the city cool. Another thing I've realized is that when you walk along the city streets, they have really tried to keep the city clean. Good work to the mayor of this city. Today being a weekend, I have taken the shortest time through the city CBD via State House Road, and boom, I'm at Kivukoni Channel. If you have ever wished to taste octopus soup or octopus meat, Kivukoni Channel is one of the best places you can visit and have that experience here in Dar es Salaam. At Kivukoni Channel, we have 3 ferries. That is MV Kazi, MV Magogoni, and MV Kigamboni. And today, I am lucky to film the MV Kazi. And today as well, I am lucky to film the Kilimanjaro ferry, which carries people from Dar es Salaam city to Zanzibar city. It is a trip of around 2.5 to 3 hours, depending with the weather. When I was done with Dar es Salaam, the next day I traveled to Mwanza. Reaching in Mwanza, my day started at Bismarck Rock Park. Bismarck Rock Park is one of the historical sites here in Mwanza. And on this day, the weather was very favoring, and I managed to get these amazing shots of Bismarck Rock and Mwanza city as well. A few meters away from here, there is a fishmonger's village, and I decided to go there so that I can see how they always do it. Having reached there, I found them deep frying seafood. This type of seafood is called daga. Dagaa is a Swahili name referring to this type of seafood. From the fishmonger's village, I decided to visit Mwanza city. Mwanza is also known as the Rock City. Mwanza, or Rock City, is the second largest city after Dar es Salaam city. It is a port city on the southern shore of Lake Victoria in northwestern Tanzania with a population of over 1.1 million people. Having gone through the city, when I reached here, I realized that the city is growing rapidly. While I was still in Mwanza, I decided to go at the viewpoint. Having reached here at the viewpoint, the weather was still favoring, and I managed to get these amazing shots of Mwanza city and Lake Victoria viewpoint as well. Evening came with showers, and I decided to go back to the hotel so that I can prepare myself to continue with my next trip to Kigoma. On our way from Kigoma, we reached in a certain village called Kamala towards Kasulu. Here, the road was totally impassable. It had rained heavily, and some parts of the road was cut. In that, some heavy trucks could not use the road because some parts of the road was somehow swampy. But before we reached here in Kamala village, in a certain village called Msimba, our bus broke down. Our mechanics took like 2 hours trying to repair it, but all was in vain. Forced to walk for like 2 kilometers so that we can catch the next bus. This was the vehicle that we were supposed to use for the remaining part of the journey. Unfortunately, we couldn't use it because a few meters away from here, the road was cut as well. We were forced again to walk for another kilometer so that we can cross to the other side of the road. Because I was totally exhausted, I was forced to take a motorbike to the other side of the road. Having reached in Kigoma, during that evening I stayed at Lake Tanganyika Hotel, and I managed to get these amazing shots of sunset at Lake Tanganyika. At this time, it was around 7:30 p.m. East Africa time. And the next morning, I visited a certain village near the shores of Lake Tanganyika in Kigoma, and that morning I managed to film these amazing views of Lake Tanganyika. Lake Tanganyika forms the boundaries between four countries, that is Tanzania, Democratic Republic of Congo, Burundi, and Zambia. When I was planning to travel back from Kigoma, I was told that I have to report earlier at Kigoma bus stand, and luckily enough, I secured a bus ticket. The next day, I traveled to Shinyanga. Reaching in Shinyanga, I woke up very early in the morning so that I can manage to get the sunrise. Luckily enough, when I arrived at Mwadui Dam here in Shinyanga, I managed to get these amazing shots of the sunrise. Still around here at Mwadui Dam, and I managed to get these amazing shots of Mwadui Dam as well. I decided to visit the Petro Diamonds mines here in Shinyanga. And these are some of the aerial shots I managed to cover while I was here, Shinyanga. After Shinyanga, the next day, I traveled to Mtwara. Mtwara is found at the border of Tanzania and Mozambique. Mtwara is known by producing the finest cashew nuts here in Tanzania. But before I traveled back to Dar es Salaam, I decided to visit Morogoro as well. On my way to Morogoro, I found Masai's roasting meat by the roadside. And because I like goat meat, I decided to make a stopover so that I can get some. es Salaam, but I decided to go to Iringa so that I can pay a visit the Isimila Stone Age. Having reached here in Iringa, the weather was favoring and I managed to film these amazing shots of the Isimila Stone Age here in Iringa. After the Isimila Stone Age in Iringa, I returned back to Dar es Salaam. In Dar es Salaam, I visited the Kunduchi Beach Hotel, and here I managed to film these amazing shots of Kunduchi Beach Hotel here in Dar es Salaam.